and welcome to the Bellcast, episode number 24. Wow, this week flew by fast. Feels like we just did episode 23.
That's right. We haven't even showered, we're all in the same clothes. It's been a rough week.
Kevin represents only the comments of himself, not the representation of the Bellcast as a whole. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. I'm a little calmed down from my last
episode
a week ago.
Yeah.
I swear. It was a week ago.
I didn't, yeah, it's true. We're all kind of wearing. I didn't wear a hat this time, though.
No.
That's right. Okay. So, what went on this week, Mike?
It's a long week.
Yeah.
It's a long week.
Yeah.
So much that I almost don't remember.
Did you get a dog yet?
Still haven't received a dog. Can't get my wife on board,
Oh.
Maybe it'll be
Does she listen to this
third kid.
podcast?
No.
No?
That doesn't either. Yeah.
No?
I think her family does, and some other people probably do, but I don't think she does. I don't
My
think she
wife's
wants
not a
to.
big podcast.
Yeah.
But is she not the big Mike person either?
It's just my
She
family.
does.
I don't like this one.
She does
She likes you. She hasn't met Kev yet.
Right.
She does.
And your fiance likes me, I think.
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
They met, yeah.
Very
She was
nice.
here, she
That
picked
was
me up
nice.
for.
Yes, yeah. So,
I think it was like right after the podcast, and you ran to go.
yeah, and he was there, yes. By the way, thebellcast.com, this week I didn't see any retweets or YouTube subscribers, so we need to get that going. If not, basically we're going to talk about fish and, well, we didn't talk about cats, but anyway.
Here's an interesting idea. Comment on a post or on the YouTube video itself, and let us know what the hell you want us to talk about.
Or, also remember, info@thebellcast.com if you want to be on it. We're booked for like months out. However, we have some spots here and there, a week there, a week here. We're going to have a coffee taste testing thing. I want to do all kinds of stuff. Hopefully.
Bellworks. Yeah. Any questions about Bellworks? We'll drop a little knowledge in the comments
We're going to have
section.
Sean from Collab on.
That's right.
Yeah.
A quiet episode, but it would be.
Well, I told him he has to make a major announcement when he comes on.
Oh, yeah.
He's not allowed to make announcements. He tells me.
No, he's not allowed.
No, he doesn't listen to
They
the
beat him
podcast.
with a ruler.
But I have found that certain people have come up to me. Have you had this yet? And people that you maybe don't know or see
Yeah.
that have said, I listen. I'm like, really? You listen to it?
Yeah, people
My
from
wife
outside
texted me
Bell.
today.
Yeah.
My wife texted me today and said, my friend Michelle was at the Bar Method and she was looking it up and she found your podcast. I'm like, shit, what did I say? What did I say? And then I'm like, oh, no. And then I'm like, oh, wait, that's with Chrissy and Megan. My wife hasn't seen any of the YouTube videos. She's going to just think we have women on every podcast episode. And I'm like, oh, anyway, thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I actually met, I'm talking with somebody else in the building, a CEO of one of the businesses here, and she's actually going to, I haven't told you guys yet, but she's going to be on the podcast sometime in August. But she said she watches all the clips and listens to us on Instagram.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Beautiful.
we have a decent amount of listens though. Yeah. So, but nobody's yelled at us yet, and nobody's come up to me and said, when you said, and I'm waiting for that moment when someone's like, when you said, it's probably going to be something about the dog killing or the fish resuscitation in the previous episode. But yes, Kevin, you had a list of things to talk about, so go ahead.
We want to do a very professional, business focused, very straight type of podcast.
Mike enjoys it more than anything, but I just throw you under the bus. He just looks at you and
He just
smiles.
stares at me. No, he's more like, thank God. For the grace of God, it's not me.
Okay.
No, I wanted to talk a little bit about us and what we've been working on, any projects we're working on, here in the building. Right? We both work. We both work upstairs. You work downstairs on the first floor. We're all
Subtle jab.
a little jab. We all have projects working on, and I think that's the whole thing about the reason why we started this podcast in the first place, was that no one knows what anyone else is doing in this building. Everyone's got these, we're in this fishbowl and you can see people, but you don't really know what's going on. So we'll take a little deep dive into the business.
Kevin likes the deep dive for
Deep dive.
He does that.
Yes.
He does that.
So back from my agency days, everyone did deep dives in the agency.
Because that's how you justify charging.
Charging a lot.
So we're gonna do a deep
We're gonna
dive
do
on
a
your
deep dive
accounts.
into your background. Yeah, exactly. You were an account person, I know, exactly.
Oh yeah. No, I would say when I get $1 million deal and $750,000 would go to the agency.
Yeah.
We get the peanuts.
Yeah, that's right. Research
The
and
research and the deep dives
Yeah.
and the
R&D,
Yeah.
deep dive,
The all hands.
4D,
yeah, the all hands
HD,
meetings, right?
VD, I mean HD.
27 people in a meeting to talk about the email.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey,
What do you do, Kevin?
what do I do?
This is the sales pitch podcast.
What do I do? Well, I mean, we have right now we
That's
have
a good question.
we're at a weird time in our business, right? So we have a kind of a two-part business. We have your traditional digital advertising stuff, right? So we're everything from doing one-off projects to agency of record, for clients. But then also we've gotten really into new technologies and more specifically virtual reality and 360 photography. We started messing around with that about a year and a half ago, and we wanted to team up with some people to do some bigger scale projects for clients, and we realized quickly that there wasn't really any players in the space, at least locally, that we could turn to and trust to do some cool things with 360 photography or VR. So we're like, well, let's learn it and do it ourselves. So now we have kind of Refresh VR, which is starting to take off. We're
Literally today.
Yeah, literally today. Yeah. We've done a couple projects. Most recently we did a really cool college tour, which will be coming out soon. And
Can you talk about that? Because I love that. I saw your post on LinkedIn about the actual VR headset being branded. That was pretty cool.
yeah, so it's a little bit of everything. So right now we've kind of created a product. We've created a package where anytime someone wants to show off a space and some photos don't really do it justice, they want to create a 360 tour. There's some other 360 tours out there, but they're kind of Google Maps style, right? So you go in and you just a photo and you click and then it's another photo and it's like clicking through a slideshow but at 360. And it's not that thrilling and it doesn't really incorporate anyone's branding or tell anything about the business. So we created our own product that is a little more immersive. We've created this 360 homepage that's filled with a company's branding and photos, and you get a real feel for the culture and the environment of the place that you're looking to to check out. And then from there, we made a very simple to use menu style experience where you can just click, pop into a space, and pop out. So an example, we just did one for St. Thomas Aquinas College in New York. And we met with them and we found some key areas of the campus that prospective students would be interested in checking out. So they have like an esports lab. They have, obviously the sport, the traditional sports. They've got different classrooms, different lecture halls, and we wanted to figure out a way to get people to to go in space. So we do quick 360 images where you can kind of pop in, look around. I'm sitting in the esports lab and playing around. I pop out. I want to check the dining hall. I go in there. I come out. And so we've got this experience. It's available on web and for desktop and mobile. But then also we include with all the packages an Oculus Go headset that we've branded. We take their logo and any kind of taglines or like rah-rah type things from the college. We put it on the headset, and they can bring that with them to to high school tours, college tours at high schools. And
I love that.
yeah, it's a good little
cool
experience for them.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks
Yeah,
good as
so
well.
it's, I think that there's actually a lot of demand out there right now for 360 stuff, and I think there's very limited options, and this is going to be another great option for people, and hoping it takes off soon.
And real estate, I'm assuming would be a good market for you guys as well, right?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it's a very specific type of real estate, either really high end that someone's having a hard time selling, or maybe they have a lot of overseas buyers and things of that nature, because the regular real estate is so quick churn.
Okay.
With the MLS, you have to have stuff up there in like 24 hours. And
But what about developers though? That
Yeah,
are
like-
in these spaces that you can't go into yet?
commercial development, something like a building right here.
Or in Chicago or something.
Yeah, exactly. A little wink, wink. Something like this, but out in Chicago, it's a great way to show off space. Yeah, for example, if they wanted to show off what this place in Jersey looks like to the people out in Chicago, instead of showing them pictures or flying them here in a jet, a helicopter, you put a headset on them, or you tell them to whip out their cell phone, and they can look around and see the space like they're standing there. So it's ideal for a developer, a designer, it's anyone looking to give a tour of anything. So we're pumped. So that's what we've been working on upstairs.
Okay.
And I don't know, slide it over to you.
Your fancy place up there?
Yeah, what have you been doing down the?
Well, I was gonna ask Mike, there was something that you showed me that you were doing. Is
Yeah.
that something you want to speak? Can you?
Yeah, because we're just in the process. So,
Okay.
for TrueConnect as a sales technology platform, we want to help salespeople in all areas of sales, right? So that means prospecting, meetings, client relationships, and kind of that long tail retention. And so we have had products in the client retention side and then also in the meeting optimization and meeting preparation space. But we recently built as a line extension a prospecting tool that sits as a Chrome extension and provides contact information on people that you might be prospecting on social media platforms. And so we're really excited about it because we have a database of about 600 million people worldwide, and we have information on them that's through different partnerships and data co-ops and things like that. And so it allows me, if I'm a salesperson and I'm prospecting online, it allows me to actually get the contact information to reach out to that person directly, right? And I think like LinkedIn's a good example, right?
Yeah.
LinkedIn to me is the best prospecting tool in the world. I pay for Navigator. I think it's the best platform for what I do in business for sales. But the in-mailing on LinkedIn that I do has a very low response rate because I don't know if you guys are like me, but I get 10 a day from people overseas that aren't even English and I can't even understand what they're talking
And they're
about.
automatic DMs.
And they're all automatic, right? And
Yeah,
so
take some time too if you're gonna do this damn thing, do it right.
Right.
Do it, come up with a creative subject line,
Right.
just like email,
or personalize it.
Personalize it a little
Yeah.
bit, drop your name, it's pretty much all they change out is the name.
Hello, F name 1.
Yeah, I get it. I actually have a wall of shame, so I always screenshot those if you get those and I keep them because that's the worst experience. So
Can I say my experience with it?
Yeah.
Because I'll dumb it down, to be honest with you. So I basically went on LinkedIn, I clicked on a profile, using your plugin, right? Can I say, go through it?
yeah, it's fine.
I clicked on a profile, I clicked on the plugin and
Thing right up in the corner.
and it showed me the person's email.
Yeah.
Because that stuff apparently is not, I never realized that it's not, you can't get it easily. Like I have my, because we looked at my profile and I have my email, but most people I guess don't.
Some people don't, or they.
Or it seems like more often that people do not, right?
Do not, yeah, especially if they're business people, right? And so we're the first platform that we know of anyways that's doing it fully compliant. Again, we love LinkedIn and we don't want to scrape anything from the page or touch their page at all. We don't do any of that.
No,
Where
we
our competitors are saying, hey, let's just take everything from this page and we'll
Yeah.
search by name and things like that.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
That's
You
right,
want a
that's
relationship
right.
with LinkedIn.
We love that, and every salesperson should have Navigator. That's how we feel because we think it's such a great
What
tool.
is Navigator?
So LinkedIn Sales Navigator is kind of their premium product for salespeople. So it allows you to prospect through there. It allows you unlimited searches. It allows you a certain number of in-mails per month. You can categorize people. It's a great platform.
Can you see who viewed your profile?
Same thing. Yes.
Yeah, no, I know, that's what most people like, right?
And then the other side is LinkedIn.
You can see who views your profile regardless if you have Navigator or not.
Yes, you can. That's right.
Well, you can, but you can only see, no, you can't. Because I have the free version now, right?
Yeah, but
I can
you
see the
can't
most
here's how it works. So if you want to hide your own profile so that people can't see it when you're on theirs, you turn it to anonymous. That means you can't see who sees yours. But
Right.
if you make it
Yes.
public, like I do, I don't care if people
Yeah.
know that I see theirs, then you can see who sees
But
I
you
use
don't
that
see-
as a hack. I use that as a tactic. I will go and click on somebody's
For sure.
profile so they know that I'm looking at them and checking them out.
Yes,
So they
that's
will
right.
come back
Yes.
and then friend me up. And it feels like they initiate.
You must have been terrible at bars,
Oh, yeah.
right? You would probably like look at the girl, stare at her for an hour.
So she knows.
Thinking,
I'm here.
This will work, and really she's like, is he still staring at me? Right, so, thank God for internet dating for you.
So that's Navigator, and then LinkedIn Recruiter is amazing if you're a recruiter because you're searching by all these different fields and interests and skills.
What's Navigator about? I used to do the premium thing. Is that what this
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the
For the
first thing. So,
premium.
I don't know what the new pricing is. I'm trying to think because I had some promo pricing that I think I'm still gathering.
You just got money bleeding out everywhere. You're like, I don't know what this costs, what that
I don't
costs.
even
No,
check my
it used to be
statements.
like $79 per month. I think somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's pricey.
It is pricey. And
Yes.
Recruiter, I think, is multiples of that. So
Yeah.
Right, it's well worth
it's
it.
pricey,
Yeah.
but it depends. What's your sale worth to you, right? So,
Right.
so anyways, to go back to the compliance side is we only search by the URL, right, which is provided to us through Chrome's
That's public,
through
right?
Chrome's history, right? It's publicly, and the reason we want to make sure we do that is because LinkedIn works hard to get those profiles created, and that's their content, and we don't want to touch that. And the competitors in our space, honestly, that are scraping the first name and last name and a company and trying to match all that stuff together,
Yeah.
I think ultimately it's
I do hate
they're
the
gonna
profile.
shut down.
The profile view of other people's, I hate it. I hate it on LinkedIn. Like, it just gives me segments of little things. Like, I want to be able to see basically, like, I use it every day, but I don't go to other people's. I'm usually the one that gets recruited. Like, how many social media people contact me on LinkedIn? They're like, we could work together. I'm like, no, we can't. I do my thing at social media, you do your, like, but when I look at them, they're like, it's like segments of little things. Basically, what I want to see, especially if they want to, because they changed their algorithm yesterday.
Oh, did it?
A major one.
Interesting, okay.
To try and get it, because I want to go to someone's profile, similar to Facebook, to be honest. I like the way the layout of Facebook is on personal profiles, not on business. On personal profiles on Facebook, you can see their most recent posts, certain, like, that's what I want to say.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, yeah, it's taking the social element, except for the feed, it's taking the social element out of it. So
It's just like,
know.
it shows me their college or
There's
whatever.
no personality in someone's
Zero.
page. Because yeah, like Facebook or any of those social networks, Instagram, you can go on and you can give a quick scan of what's this person into, what's the type of stuff where are they commenting, where are they posting.
Which,
now there's this little section, it's like activity.
yes, and then you see
Yeah.
posts or like what, and it's just, but what's funny is that on Facebook, the business pages, it's the same thing. Because if you go to someone's Facebook business page, it's like 12 things
Yeah.
before you get to their most recent post. It's almost like they want, Facebook wants your business money, but doesn't want to say that they're making money off the bit. They want to keep it as like the dirty little secret.
Yeah.
Whereas like 6-7 years ago, it was like you would see, you know, I think they were so concerned about being like MySpace that it's getting to the point where, as a business, if you're on Facebook, there's no reason to post. All you should do is, on
There's no
Facebook, all
reason
you
to
should
be
be doing is
there.
advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no
That's
reason.
it.
Yeah.
Have an account so you can run ads, but
But-
LinkedIn is the way to go as far as business.
It is
business
profile.
community.
But on the business, if you have a business account, you have a business page on LinkedIn, that shows it the way I like it. The problem is nobody
Yeah.
does it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I have mine, but when you go to my business page on LinkedIn, you see my most recent posts. Like, that's
Right.
kind of what I want to see. Like the secondary stuff, like where you went to college. Who cares?
Yeah, it
secondary.
depends though, right? I mean, you think of LinkedIn when it first started as one of the biggest revenue drivers for them are the recruiters, right? So recruiters
Why don't
want
they
to go
call
in there
that?
and they want to see the college and the experience. That's the recruitment side, right? But I'm similar to you. I mean, you actually had a post, Kev, a few months ago. It was the car commercial that you did, and it was just a snippet, and I saw it on my timeline, and then I went back later and it wasn't on my timeline. So I went to your profile, and I couldn't even like find it on your profile, and you had just posted it that day, right? And it was.
Well, I think LinkedIn knows where their money is.
Of course.
And their money is in recruiters, and all recruiters want, not only recruiters, but anybody who's trying to recruit information. They just want, it's a modern day email blast, it's
It's a resume. They want the resume.
it's cold calling, it's all that stuff. So the fact that they changed their algorithm, apparently to make it much more social, means that if that's the case, it very well could push a good portion of the people who are tired of Facebook and don't know where to go to LinkedIn. So 3 years from now, LinkedIn could end up, if they play this right, could be, while they've been around for a long time and popular, they could really pop as much as Facebook did in its real prime in like 12, 13, 14, 2000s, around there, when everybody was on it, you saw everybody's news feed, you saw, now Facebook feels like a big mishmash of stuff. If I'm not getting an alert, I'm not seeing
Well,
it.
what do you think happens with Facebook? Because I was on a call with someone earlier today and we were talking about Facebook and all the data breaches and a lot of people, actually millennials, are saying, I don't want to be on Facebook. And now even some of the older generations that are migrating away. And I think what it was a few quarters ago, they posted their first loss of users or like decline in users.
Sure.
What do you think happens to Facebook? Because it's a big
It's
thing.
a lot.
I
Did we
think,
talk- did we
I
talk
think
about this?
Facebook's giving up on Facebook.
Yeah, I do think that.
so?
I think Facebook, everyone's transitioning to Instagram, or has transitioned to Instagram. As far as the social, the social network of choice, right? And then I think you see them investing in other avenues, right? They've got
Oculus, so what do they do with
exactly.
that? Is that where you think they put the efforts in the tangential business, not
I think
Facebook?
they're growing out to different, they're taking like a Google approach or an Amazon approach in which they're just now going wider. They're casting a wider net. They're not just a social network anymore. They're a
Right.
company that's got their hands in a little bit of everything.
Did you guys see the documentary Facebook at 15? It was on.
No.
It was, I think CNN did it
Yeah,
a while ago.
CNN.
It was a documentary. It was really good though. It was like the whole start, 15 years of Facebook, right, and how they started. And I think you're right, Lorenzo. Like their peak at that certain point, you had all these apps on Facebook where they were making a ton of money, they were getting like Farmville and all that sort of stuff, right? And that was the fun side, the social side. But then the business side came in and the advertising was such a big revenue driver for them, I think it shifted their focus and people just, Facebook wasn't cool to be on.
As long as they're getting, on Rockstar Podcast, we talked about this. I went through the AOL boom, right? And this is pretty much, well, what it was AOL was so big in the 90s, right? And everything was in one world, right? You had your instant messenger, you had your email there, everybody had an AOL. So you get it, it's basically Facebook, right? And what ended up happening is, after a while, AOL started to die out. And then we went into like a 5 to 6 year period where people everywhere on the internet were kind of just all over the place. Nobody was connecting with anybody. Then MySpace came up, and that got really hot really quick because people were starving for something.
Right.
A connection, right? Because I remember in the 90s, I was going to AOL chat room parties in person. Many times I went up to Boston, like 50 people there. Had some good times. But
So AOL chat room buddies.
and that was paid, right? We were paying, not for that, but the AOL every month, it was paid.
You weren't stockpiling all the CDs they sent you for years and years?
I worked at CompUSA,
That's right.
and I saw the demise of it all happen front row seat of both CompUSA and AOL. That said, it ended up, there was like a good 5, 6 year period where everybody there was nothing. There genuinely was nothing. Then MySpace came on, and it got so big so fast, like I said, everybody ran because it was a common denominator. You could say MySpace, what's your, like you say, what's your screen name, right, on AOL. Facebook then, really from one reason or another, Zuckerberg, he saw it and it took it, timing, all that stuff, and it really took over because it went where it needs to go, usually with the young kids, right?
College.
Right.
So
So now,
now doing that
Colleges,
college
yeah.
email addresses was the smartest thing he ever
the
did.
smartest and luckiest, right? I mean, I think it was just convenient where he was, right? If he was
in college.
if he was
at
at a
more
corporate,
credit though, what he built.
no,
Yeah,
100% credit, but I'm saying if he was working at a big corporation at 30 years old, he might not have thought college emails.
For sure.
So there's that. But I feel like that this is going to happen as well, that we're gonna have a lull here for several years. And the thing is that when AOL was having a lull, I could have said, well, what's next? And you can't think about what's next.
Right.
But really what happened next was basically the same thing of AOL, it just got the younger version.
Right.
Now, I can't believe that next 5 years that there's gonna be another version of Facebook that the younger kids go to that has all this stuff, because everything is so streamlined and niche. With Instagram is basically photos, right?
Right.
Snapchat is basically quick 24 hours. TikTok has got play, but I mean, people want to be able to communicate, converse, hash out shit, say stuff, drama, they want all that stuff. How they present it is just gotta be, the platform's gotta be new, it's the new flavor of the week, right?
Right.
So the next one that comes out, it's gonna be probably like the same concept of people going on there and conversing, right?
Right.
But it won't be Facebook because it wasn't MySpace, it wasn't AOL before that.
But maybe
I
there's
was-
just not longevity with that. I'm looking up Snap right now because I
But
want to see
like,
what their stock looks
In the early 90s, the biggest thing was locally here was a thing called Club Planet. ClubPlanet.com was a board similar to Reddit that all the nightclubs were on, and they were promoting their stuff. So they'd have like teen night, because I DJ for so long that we used to do teen night and stuff like that. So everybody would go on there and say, no, come to my night, I'm promoting here, I'm doing this, and there'd be so much drama, there'd be fight. It's really the same thing. It went into AOL chat rooms, Facebook.
Right. Well, even MySpace and
MySpace,
Facebook, what's the difference? Like that, there were subtle differences.
I think
but it
MySpace
was
made
like-
the mistake of making so much of those, remember those, the sparkly, glitzy glam thing, like, it was almost like so overcrowded, and as crazy as it sounds, because the background of MySpace and the whole color scheme was black
Yeah.
versus white, meaning that it was just a darker, heavier feeling, like that's psychology.
Okay.
The white, the lightness of Facebook, the color, the breathability of it in the beginning, just felt like, oh, this is so not crowded, it's a mental, it's not like you're getting bombarded on MySpace.
MySpace kind of felt like this like dark chat rooms.
Yeah, it's sort of like
back
that.
alleys.
Especially now, have you seen it lately?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's totally different than the MySpace you used to.
Well, they were trying to push the music thing for a
That's
while.
right. Didn't
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake buy into it?
Yeah. I mean, it never played out. I guess it's got play, but like, no matter what, humanity wants to collectively get together. As much as we all say, no, I want to stay home Friday night. You need that, right? Like, it's just common sense. The scientific experiments of like, we fed one baby goat water and food, and we gave another baby goat no water, food, but a cloth and human contact, and the one that didn't have as much. So it's like,
People
They'll be
always, they always
somewhere
wanna be
else.
surrounded by people like themselves.
and it could be VR, it might be something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a longevity anymore on the platforms, right? Like,
In general,
just look at
probably not.
Snap, I was just looking at their stock, it looks like it's gone up, and they're doing a lot more AR stuff now.
Snap is not a powerhouse.
But
It's not,
it's like
Snap's
Snap
one of
was
the few
huge,
places
and then
that
it's
do
like, and then all these sort of things, I wonder if they're just cyclical and then something else is gonna come in.
but when you compare it to Facebook, it's not huge.
No, for sure, but Facebook is also this juggernaut with 2 billion users.
Well, that's what AOL was, and that's what MySpace bridged it through.
Yeah,
The thing is what's the next big, like, Instagram is big, but it's still not Facebook.
yeah.
Not at its prime, no chance.
It's big though, what are they,
Oh,
billion,
no,
billion users? Is that the-
It's big because, to be honest with you, most of us are bored of Instagram. Like, you're all scrolling through it, like we are on Facebook.
I agree with that, actually.
You know,
Or
I'm-
social in general.
Well, we're bored of it because we've got, what happened was we had nothing for like 5 or 6 years, and then we got Facebook, and then all of a sudden, everything came out. So now, you know, it's like, it's circular, it's historical, we go around in a circle. So now we get to a point where people are, you see it all the time, you know, I wanna talk face to face, but like, we always talk face to face. In
Yeah.
fact, you two would never meet me, and I would never meet you two if it wasn't for this stuff.
Yeah, I see it in the advertising game, because, you know, coming from that world selling to clients, it used to be, everything needed to be on social, it was all about reach, right? We have to have this reach, this reach, and this reach, and then I had clients that were saying, actually, we don't care, can you get us a dinner with 20, like, highly influential clients, right? So for us, they wanted it, they wanted the personal 4-hour dinner where they're talking and creating, and they're willing to pay for that, say $75,000 for that dinner with 20 people, versus $75,000 on ads just to run.
You know where that started? This started with restaurants, the chef table.
Interesting.
The back seat, the back.
Yeah.
It started with that, it started with, even my ad.
But that human connection, like that one-on-one conversation was so much more valuable than just, you know, the scale.
But that's even when I advertise. When I do ads for clients on Facebook and Google, like, I have one company that I have 20 different ads running for them because they're so niche, to the point of where they're based targeted geography, so they can only hit 15 or 16 towns. I literally have an ad for each town that leads to a landing page on their website that says, welcome, blah, 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 to the town.
Wow.
And the URLs to the town, so that when you go to, you see the link and it says Holmdel, New Jersey Dance Studio, you click on it, it goes to a page that's on their website, it's not part of the navigation,
Right.
but it says, hello, Holmdel moms, family, dance families, blah, blah, blah. It's the same regurgitated info from the other stuff, it's just the town names have changed, and I literally put a photo of Holmdel on there. So, yes, it is going back to the fact of where it's more one-on-one, but I remember this starting out when I saw the chef table, like, who the hell, working in the restaurants, I'm like, who the hell, you don't want clients sitting back in the kitchen,
Right.
but sure enough, it's a thing that people pay for, you wanna close it out.
Yeah, I would say that either your goal is general brand awareness or it's to close the deal,
Right.
right? And I think when you're talking about social, we were, just upstairs earlier brainstorming an idea for a social campaign. We're talking about, what's gonna get us the most reach, how many posts should we do to get the most, amount of engagement over the course of a month. And then we had to just stop and pause and say, the goal is to sell, in this case, cars.
Right.
So let's stop being in our own heads about caring about likes and engagement. Who gives a shit
Right.
if you're not selling any cars? So
Right.
It's an honest answer, because sales has gotten so beat up because of the warm and fuzzy, and the answer is that you can be warm and fuzzy and still need to sell shit, and you could not be warm and fuzzy and still need, either way you have to sell stuff, right? So if you're warm and fuzzy, you might have a better shot.
That's right. Well, it's a personalization, right? And again, the metrics are the tough part. I remember advertisers saying, you're gonna do a social campaign for us, we need 2,200 likes. Like, okay, what does that mean? So if you get 1,900 versus 2,200,
doesn't matter.
what does it matter? Like, what are we actually talking, what do you actually wanna do? Well, we wanna sell our product.
That's what
Okay, well then let's
We
figure out.
changed our mindset.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, now the campaign just needs to get butts and cars.
That's
Yeah, because they
right.
can charge you 10 grand and then go buy 2,200 likes for you for $100.
That's right.
Real quick.
Yeah, that's right.
If that's what you
You
want.
want likes?
It's
I
kind of
get
great
your likes.
ROI for you.
Yeah.
One email to China, I got you all the likes you want.
Okay, closing that out with Kevin there. Episode 24 is in the can. Hope you enjoy. Subscribe. subscribe on YouTube. Bye.
Cool. Alright guys, I gotta make